Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas Cowboys, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. When it comes to a promising, somewhat unknown quarterback, we can all become prone to flights of fancy. Such is the case of Dallas Cowboys backup quarterback Joe Milton III, who the franchise obtained in a trade with the New England Patriots on April 3, giving up a 2025 fifth-round pick and 2025 seventh-round pick. Milton, a 2023 sixth-round pick, number 193 overall, came to the Cowboys almost solely on the power of a single start in 2024, when he went 22 of 29 passing for 241 yards and a touchdown during a 23-16 Week 18 victory over the Buffalo Bills, who sat the majority of their starters for the game in preparation for the playoffs. It was a meaningless game in terms of overall standings, but not in terms of the Patriots' future. That's because beating the Bills cost New England the number 1 overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. The problem for the Cowboys in bringing in Milton to be the backup to longtime starter Dak Prescott is that they're still a team coming off a 7-10 record, and Prescott is still the quarterback who looked lost last season before a hamstring injury limited him to just 8 games. That's why Bleacher Report's Alex K put Prescott on his list of 5 NFL quarterbacks who could be benched in 2025, a wild theory that wouldn't seem quite so wild if it didn't have a kernel of truth to it. Prescott signed the largest contract in NFL history before the 2024 season. It was a 4-year, $240 million deal that made him the first player in league history to make $60 million in a single season. In 2024, Prescott only posted a completion rate of 64.7%, averaged 247.3 passing yards per game, and tallied a meager 11 scores with a concerning 8 picks in the 8 starts he made prior to injuring his hamstring, K wrote on June 3. The biggest reason Dallas may put Prescott on the bench is the presence of Joe Milton III, who the Cowboys traded for earlier this offseason. The 25-year-old is one of the more intriguing young backups in the league. While his presence could light a fire under Prescott, it could also spell the end of his long-standing tenure as the Dallas starter. Bad vibes abound around Milton. The vibes have been off ever since Milton joined the Cowboys in a trade, partly through his own doing after he decided it would be a good idea to take a few passive-aggressive swipes at his former team. "It's way different," Milton said on a video posted to the Cowboys' official YouTube channel on May 29. "This offense here brings me back more to my college days. My last offense was more everybody get tagged on which routes. This offense here is more fast and for sure explosive. I went in the Week 18 game and did what the play caller and head coach wanted me to do, and that's win the game." Patriots reporter Greg Bedard broke more unflattering news about Milton following the trade, putting out a report that Milton was a less-than-ideal teammate during his short time playing for the Patriots. "Joe Milton, and this is a direct quote from someone in the organization, is not a good dude," Bedard said on the Greg Bedard Patriots podcast on May 1. "Knowing your role, playing your role, being part of a harmonious quarterback room, that was going to be an issue. It wasn't about Drake May. It was just about the room." Micah Parsons being in and out of Dallas Cowboys OTAs wasn't the biggest of deals, with the All-Pro making his way to the Star after the most recent practice. But with his contract situation still not resolved, all eyes are on mandatory minicamp next week and whether or not the Lion will be in attendance. "I expect to see him," head coach Brian Schottenheimer said. And now Micah himself has confirmed his attendance via X regardless of whether a deal is done or not. "I will be there. I haven't missed a minicamp in 4 years. Even though the contract is not done, I have teammates and a playbook. I'm preparing as if I will be on the field the first week of camp. But it's in the owner's hands. I'm ready to win a Super Bowl." Hew a collective sigh of relief, with perhaps Dallas' best player not letting his contract situation interfere with his football. Of course, in an ideal world, Dallas and Micah would come to terms sooner rather than later, but with Parsons expected to fetch a contract around $40 million APY, Jerry Jones stated that number 11 must be the player he wants to be paid like. And that means showing up for work, which Parsons has done to a degree during OTAs, and now he's confirmed he'll be at the Star next week for the mandatory portion of this early offseason work. Part of a new-look leadership group, Parsons knows the value of being there for his teammates and to learn a new playbook. So with or without a contract, Micah will be present next week, just as a team leader should. The Dallas Cowboys have made 4 trades this offseason, with the George Pickens blockbuster sticking out as a potential game-changer for the offense. Cowboys fans wouldn't say no to another big trade, but the front office has an opportunity to be on the other side of a notable deal after Lions star center Frank Ragnow shockingly announced his retirement on Monday. This puts the Lions' offensive line in a bind. Head coach Dan Campbell may look internally to replace Ragnow, but the Cowboys have a few expendable interior blockers on the roster. The New York Jets appear to be on the upswing after a 5-12 2024 campaign. Equipped with a new general manager, head coach and quarterback, Jets fans are hoping the tide is turning for their seemingly cursed franchise. The Jets haven't made a major splash with new leadership in place. Their biggest move of the offseason was signing Justin Fields to a 2-year, $40 million contract, hoping Fields can tap into the franchise quarterback-level potential that had the Chicago Bears take him with the number 11 overall pick. However, that doesn't mean the Jets won't strike if the iron is hot on a superstar. Dallas Cowboys superstar pass rusher Micah Parsons has been unable to come to terms on an extension with the Cowboys. With Parsons set to enter the final year of his rookie deal, the Cowboys may trade Parsons if they can't put ink on a new deal for their franchise player. Pro Football and Sports Network's Hayden Victoria compiled a list of teams who could strike a trade for Parsons, and the Jets found themselves on the list. Victoria does note that a Parsons trade still seems unlikely, however. Parsons has made it clear he wants to remain a Cowboy for life, and Dallas leadership has repeatedly insisted they plan to keep him in the fold. Victoria noted. Still, until a deal is signed, the possibility of a franchise-altering trade remains on the table. The Cowboys could command a king's ransom, multiple first-round picks and more, if they choose to move on from one of the NFL's elite defenders. Victoria also claims that the Jets are in win-now mode. While that's a contentious take, a trade for one of the NFL's best pass rushers who is still on his rookie deal would certainly be equal parts a win-now move and a move for the future. According to SpotTrack, Parsons' deal could exceed $145 million in total value, so the Jets would have to pay a hefty price not just to acquire, but also to keep Parsons. The New York Jets are in win-now mode and have a new-look leadership group determined to contend, Victoria wrote. Adding Parsons would give New York one of the league's most fearsome front sevens and help maximize their championship window.